Okay, Jake had one fucking job, and he
And
couldn't
I did
even
it. So
do
what are we
that right.
complaining about? Wait, hang on,
But
hang on. What are we complaining about? I did the job.
today, I want to go first.
With what?
The intros.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Crypto's not here. We're breaking all the rules. But it's gonna feel weird. But yeah, what the fuck not?
No, I have to redo the whole draft.
You
I'm
know
not
what,
going to
Witch?
enjoy it, for sure.
You know what, Witch? You know what, Witch? I gotta give you props. There's a W thumbnail. You know what?
Thank
I
you.
took a minute to appreciate it. I looked at it. I said, you know what? This is even Witch's usual style. I don't even know how he did this. This looks fucking great.
We do
So,
it. We
We
do things
can't
out of
give Witch
spite
props. The
sometimes, and
audience is
also
supposed to
I
give Witch
didn't want
props.
to put too much effort, but this actually did take a lot of fucking effort to do.
it's
Like,
artsy. It's fun. It looks like
it looks
if
like
we had a
something that
movie.
you would draw in your notebook.
Yeah, if we had a movie and it was like that Spider-Man Homecoming feel at the end of the trailers, it would be this. This would be our credit sequence. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, Kirby died.
Yeah.
He died so we can
Huh?
beat the enemy.
Yeah. Now, if only Wonder Woman could get us up from under. All right, that's all I ask.
Well, I guess with that, we'll just go straight to the intros. Welcome to Comic Fanatic. I am not your host. That's Jake. I'm just here. I wanted to go first. I wanted to formally apologize because I'm the reason they got postponed from Tuesday. I was injured. I am okay. We can move on. This is
We
Bricky
built him
Wall,
back up,
Ace
guys.
Comic.
This brawl was nuts on all of us. Some of us
Actually,
had bumps.
what you don't know, and the reason for Austin's injury is very simple. He was in the finale of Invincible, and a lot of walls got hurt. He was one of them. All right,
but he's okay. He got that hazard pay. Don't worry about it.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, wait, put a band-aid on it. It's all right.
Yeah, just did like a bit, some random words for a spell. We're good.
Yeah, but yes, and with that, it is I, Jake Tylenol. I fought Virgil and I lost. So there you go.
Yeah. And going last as always, unless I'm hosting the live, which I'm not today. I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he. And you know what? We're gonna watch another gay man beat up an old man who's an asshole. So woo!
And together, in spirit, we form the Fanatics, and we talk about the news and reviews of the week. On our special Tuesday nights, we talk about the comic reviews, but it ain't Tuesday. So today, on this special Friday, we moved it over, and now we're going to be talking about the comic reviews. All right. Now, it's going to be a really short list, so we'll have a lot more time to talk about the shit that we want to talk about. So we might stretch it out, say what you want to say. But we were going to be reviewing the Devil May Cry anime, and not the new one coming out. No, the old one, the original one.
Hell yes.
And we'll also be there will be no Limp Bizkit in this as well. I'm sorry, we can't do that. That's not that good.
God damn it!
I'm sorry, but we'll also be reviewing Avengers Academy, our continuing series. We'll do Bionicle, Island of Doom, some Marvel fanfare, another blast from the past, and Daredevil Unleashed. And if nothing happens, and if we have the time, we will squeeze in something. I promise you.
Something absolute.
I promise you, I will reference Limp Bizkit at least once in that.
That's true.
I will be talking about all my Alpha Flight references when the time comes.
Oh wait, Witch, can you see the screen right now?
Yes, I can see it just.
Yo, what is that?
To be fair,
what the fuck is that?
It's totally not our socials or anything.
Oh my god.
You can't see me, but I'm tucking my hair behind my ear. You know it. But yes, you can follow. You can subscribe to us. If you would be ever so nice to us for once, it will help Austin feel better. Trust me. You can also follow us on Twitter at ComicFanatic69. That's where you get all of the updates, the links to our lives. You sometimes get some cool art, like the one that you see today, drawn by yours truly. Yours cruelly. I'm not Elvira. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways. You can also, if you don't want to follow the whole squad and you just want to follow me because you love my nerdy ramblings, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U because, yeah. You can also follow me on TikTok Instagram, and also Twitch at Witch of Jotunheim, like witch_of_Jotunheim. I do try to post on there. I might go live on Twitch later. I make no promises. You can follow me on Tumblr and Blue Sky at Northstar Aria, and you can follow me on Rednose/Haohongshu at Witch of Jotun, with a U this time. And if you want to know what happened to Austin, he literally told you what happened earlier. He's fine. He got the hazard pay. Don't worry. He doesn't have that bullshit insurance that Tom Cruise has. Don't worry. He could do all these stunts, no problem. And Jake, where art thou?
I mean, I just came back from I can't even pronounce the shit from Devil May Cry 3. I'm on my way back to Boya Nui, see what's up there, see if everybody's all right, see if the Toe and Nuva are surviving. But we'll see.
He left the Devil May Cry the building, entered a tower, and he hasn't left the tower since. I was there. I saw it.
Yeah.
He was the wall that made the tower.
The wall is keeping me in.
He actually did break a wall. That's probably why. That might be another reason why I'm.
Yeah. The injuries pile up, you know.
Yeah, like Tom Cruise.
That's true. But without further ado,
He does his own stunts.
Let's move on, shall we, to the first topic. Jackpot, everyone, because we're going to be talking about the Devil May Cry anime. Now for those who aren't aware,
this is
he says at the very. You know what's crazy? I got pissed off in the first episode. He said bingo, and I was like, "What the fuck did you just say?" The last episode, he's so
that's so weird.
I was so unreasonably angry by it. I was like, "What the fuck are you just telling me?" But in the last episode, he says jackpot. I was like, "Yeah." So, anyway.
Also, audience, by the way, there's also a Bayonetta anime that's made by the same studio, and a whole bunch of Marvel anime. You're welcome.
Oh, you know what?
But the Bayonetta is also made by the creator Devil May Cry. That's why it's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is the original Devil May Cry anime. Unfortunately, because I think this works better if it comes after 2. But this takes place in between Devil May Cry's 1 and 2. I have a weird history with this anime, which actually I'm glad I do, because it actually informs a lot of my opinion about this show. I tried watching the show like when it came on like Apple, like the Apple TV, Apple iTunes, whatever it was. You could just buy the episodes. I got the first episode.
Isn't it on Crunchyroll?
No. I'm saying this is way back when.
Like, this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I watched this anime as a kid, and I thought this was it was all right, because I just watched Devil May Cry 3 on like YouTube, and I thought the story was great, and I was like, I want to see more of this Dante guy, and I watched the anime, and I was like, oh, it's like cool, it's just missing the action scenes for the game. So I really came here to see.
Yeah, and that was your first problem. That was your first problem.
Right, you came here from the games, and that's what I was gonna get into. I think the major problem with this anime, and it's gonna inform a lot of it, is like, if you don't care about the Devil May Cry story, this is not gonna help. But if you actually were interested in Dante's personal life, it only helps if you know it from the games or something. It's kind of the issue. So basically, the general plot
is just made for the fans, and like it all the way through. If you're not a fan and not watching this, it's not gonna help you do anything.
Yeah, usually when people say this, like Zack Snyder, it's just kind of like a poor excuse for like a shitty writing. In this case, no, this is the one example I found where it's like, no, this is absolutely just for like a fan. Because if you just know the context, you understand everything happening. So, the plot of Devil May Cry, the anime, the original anime, is basically after Devil May Cry 1. Not that the game will tell you that. Dante has just defeated Mundus. Not that the anime will tell you that. And now he's just kind of coasting, going about his life. He's already avenged his family and all this shit. But life is just boring. I mean, like, this is the dude who's his father woke to justice, but Dante, he sleeps through it. Okay, he just kind of coasts the rest of his life. So what does that life look like for him now that all of his problems have kind of gone away? Well, it's a life of a lot of debt, a lot of misery, a lot of loneliness, until this one girl comes in his life, this little girl who kind of acts as a little sister to him, named Patty. After on one mission, he befriends this girl. Well, I won't say really befriends it. He grows attached to this girl, and this girl becomes a normal part of his everyday life. And this brings the one little ray of sunshine for Dante for the rest of the series. Each episode. Well, let me put it that way, yeah. But each episode is kind of like an anthology until it's not. The last couple, like I think halfway through the series, they have like an actual plot, but we actually get to see Dante going on his normal missions when they're not, focused on saving the world. What's the day-to-day life of the greatest devil hunter to ever live since his father died? And it's kind of, and it, like, again, it is monotonous, but we'll kind of go through some of the episodes. I do want to say right off the bat, though, I do like the art, but I think it's too stilted for animation. One of the major critiques I have of this is that Devil May Cry is a fighting game, but because of the way it's drawn, I think, or maybe it's the budget, I don't know. There's not really great fight scenes. There's fight scenes, but you kind of skip through them. You just like Dante pulls out his sword, maybe shoots a little bit. Next thing you know, Dante's won the fight. Or maybe Dante just cuts a demon up after a lot of buildup, and it's just like the heroic music plays, and that's kind of it. I think that's a major problem with the story, with the storytelling, because again, it's just cool to establish like how proficient Dante is, how powerful he is, and while one-shotting an enemy is nice once or twice, I kind of just like to see him actually in action. But yeah. Oh, by the way, for people who don't know, this is Patty. This is the little girl that Dante's kind of semi taking care of. She's kind of taking care of him as well. The relationship child. Yes, the relationship
Wait,
between
these two look like they're like Vampire Night.
We should watch Vampire Night, Austin. I think that'll be funny.
Yeah, Jake needs to know. Jake needs to see them both.
We can stream that on my Twitch if I can figure out how to do that.
The relationship between Dante and Patty, again, is like a sister-brother relationship, which is kind of much needed because for those who don't know, because the anime won't explain it to you, Dante has killed his brother at this point, kind of technically twice, but really once. So Dante having someone he can actually like interact with and relate to in the day-to-day life that kind of cares for him and helps him bring out his humanity is really good. I do like elements we took from Devil May Cry 1 and put into this. I don't really know. Did Devil May Cry 3 come out when this anime was around? Do we know? Do you remember?
Now, what
I'm not
year
the biggest Devil May Cry person. I'm sorry.
I couldn't tell you. It looks like 2006
it
to be honest.
Should have, to be honest. If it's early 2000s, it had to be. 4 was like
probably in the
4 was 2010.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna look it up right now. Actually, if I can actually do that.
Yeah. But the relationship is really nice. Patty gives Dante a lot of shit, and Dante kind of gives her shit back. But you can tell that Dante really just appreciates having her. It came
out.
Around.
The first episode came out on June 14th, 2007.
Okay.
It should be around the time.
Another thing I like about Patty though is how quickly she acclimates to the fact that like Dante's a killer. Like that shit doesn't that there are demons in the world. Dante kills demons, all that shit. I think there's like one episode where the blood just makes her pass out. I think it's in the finale. But other than that, she's not really like Dante, you shouldn't kill those people. Oh my god, I'm so scared, Dante. Like, nah, she's kind of like, nah, I know what this is. I'm fine to go there. I also like her interactions with the other cast members that we bring to the anime later on. They do treat her like a kid, but she doesn't like mind it. She's not one of those kids who's like, stop treating me like a little girl. Like she's
well aware that she is a little girl.
Yes. Yeah. There also is Dante's character himself outside of Patty that I also find fascinating, but again, only because I know the games. Dante.
Why you use this picture?
This is because I just like that. It was like the ending shot. It's the ending shot from the anime. But Dante is
Dante, I wouldn't know who the hell this guy was, bro.
That's true. But that's how this is the final shot of the anime. This is what they decided to end on. Okay. Dante is kind of miserable. I alluded to it earlier, but this dude has a lot of fucking debt. He's not just in debt, like he's in debt. His debt has debt. Like it's kind of insane. People come up and say
he has more than daddy issues, guys. That's what he's trying to say. He has debt. He goes
into missions trying to clear off his debt, and by the end of the episode, usually he has more debt than how he got in than what he came with, which I think is kind of insane. It doesn't help that his friends are pieces of shit. Like his actual friends, like Lady and Trish, are actually like fucking assholes who like extort Dante a lot of the time. But I can't entirely say it's all the world's fault. Dante also has a gambling problem. And this, like, he gambles even though he knows he has bad luck, and it's a weird quirk of his. And at some point, you're just kind of like, man, there's only so much I can feel bad for you for. But yeah, again, I guess it's the only excitement he can get in his life. There is a constant theme in the anime with Dante and his companions that ever since kind of like Devil May Cry 1 ended, there's not really anything to do. All of them kind of complain like, yeah, like we just kind of do these jobs, but like none of these jobs are really interesting. We just kind of do them, we go home, and that's about the end of it. So, I do like that as a short.
Wait. You said the same place after Devil May Cry 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies here, so it has to be after 3. No, you're right. I'm done. Never mind, I'm done.
Yeah.
The games are out of
like,
order, people. So I got the order messed up. I'll done.
Yeah, for people who don't know, 3 happens before 1. It's a prequel to 1 to explain the events of leading up to 1. The first couple episodes are actually interesting and informative of Dante's character, but only again, you would have to know that that's the case. For instance, the first episode is about Patty, of course, and Patty is dealing with the loss of her mother as an orphan. And at some point in the episode, she's like, "You don't know what it's like to lose a mom, Dante." And if you know Dante, well, yeah, he lost his mom very tragically. It's those defining character traits. In another episode, there's a character
mommy and daddy issues, and brother issues, and money issues.
In another episode, I think the follow-up. There's a guy who's obsessed with avenging his brother who was killed by a demon, and not once does this come. Even though you, as the person who's played the games, know that Dante is thinking about his brother the entire time. Not once does it actually come up in the episode, which is weird storytelling. I get that Dante himself wouldn't want to talk about these things; it's just not in his character. But I feel like this should have been brought up to some extent. I think. Yeah, Lady could have brought it up. I think the best example of an episode, there's actually a really cool episode where Dante's on a mission to kill a demon, or he's hired to. But the demon isn't a bad person. He's just in love with a human. But the dad doesn't like the demon being in love with the human, so he wants Dante to kill him, essentially. And it's cool because Dante's parents were both like, his dad is a demon, his mom was a human. So this is Dante really reflecting on that relationship, seeing it through somebody else's eyes. And you get to see Dante actually coming to terms with like, do I actually want to kill this guy? Like, what do I know about him? That stuff. I like his thought process before he comes to the final decision of the episode of if I should kill this guy or not. Another thing that I think shines with Dante's character as well, that is in the game, that is heavily in the first one, and the third one also highlights this as well. Dante is a humanist, but I like how they don't glorify it. It's not like a Superman thing where, like, you see Dante go down the street, and there's like, there's Perry White, and he's he goes on the street, there's Perry White, and he's such a nice guy, or we get to see the nice people in Dante's life. Dante just loves his humanity, whether people are nice to him or not. He even says very early on that, like, I don't like doing jobs where I have to kill humans. It's like, if I find that you're a human, I have to kill you. Like, I will try my hardest not to. Like, I think he brings it up like at least twice. And I think he only but it's not to say he won't kill a human. Like, if he has to, if you get on his nerves, like, he will do it. But it's just something you have to push him into doing, essentially. But yeah, we get also slice of life episodes with Dante where he gets to enjoy his humanity. Like, he has a favorite bar he goes to just so he can drink strawberry sundaes, which is his favorite drink. We get an episode like dealing with there's this guy who wants to be like Dante. I thought that was a really funny episode too, because you get to see Dante through the eyes of just someone who just doesn't have any context for this universe. I thought that was really fun as well. You get to see the people like Dante interacts with, like the people at the bar, the people like that he buys clothes from, things like that. I thought the anime handled that aspect of Dante really well. Later we also get introduced to some Devil May Cry characters we know, like Lady from Devil May Cry 3, who I haven't introduced on this channel because I haven't beaten Devil May Cry 3 yet, but Lady is a devil hunter who used to hate Dante, and now she extorts Dante for money, essentially.
Fully human.
Yes. In terms of Lady's portrayal in the anime, it's pretty spot on to who she was in the games, at least after she got rid of her angst stuff. You can tell that like Dante and her have like a really cool like rapport with each other. The anime tries to imply that Lady has a crush on Dante, but they also like leave it up to your imagination if that's actually true or not. There's no like overtly romance scenes, but there is a point where like another character calls it out and like Lady denies it, and that's pretty much all you get from that. Essentially,
this is my OTP.
Yes. Which, just so you know, Dante's only options in life are a lady or another woman who looks exactly like his mother. So Those are your choices for Dante's character.
I've seen worse choices.
That's true. But I think Lady would also like too is there's an her episode deals with her going up against, well, I just referenced her, Trish. There's an episode where I think it's the second episode she comes in. These two do not actually meet in the games, so this is the first canonical meeting between these two. And I think this episode was really fun. Dante purposely gaslights Lady into fighting Trish. And the reason it's funny is because first off, Trish is an actual demon with like powers and shit. That's also like not comparable to Dante, but she's pretty high up there on the demon pecking order. So she's just kind of like pitting these two against each other to kind of see what will happen. And Trish is only going along with it because she just wants to see what this lady girl's about. But I like how like petty they get with each other, especially Trish. And when they do fights, even though Lady holds her own, I think it's funny that like Trish is clearly holding back. Like she lets Lady get away with a lot, but the moment Lady thinks she has it over on Trish, Trish is like, nah, okay, now I gotta set it straight. Like I gotta set the record straight. I think there's a moment where like Lady gets like one good hit on Trish, and Trish's like, okay, like grabs her hair and just like fucking beats the fuck out of her for a little bit. I kind of like that whole fight scene. But I do like how they quickly, it's not like a long-standing rivalry. These two do quickly become friends over extorting Dante, which I thought was weird. Another thing I liked about Dante and Trish is that they do explain the events of Devil May Cry 1 and why Trish is not around anymore. For those who don't remember, at the end of Devil May Cry 1, Trish said, yeah, the world's going to be okay because we have Dante and his sidekick Trish, which she would never say in modern Devil May Cry media, but that is what it is. We find out that over the course of time, Dante and Trish kind of broke apart. Because Trish wanted to go off on her own, and Dante trying to play it cool, pretended like he was okay with that. But I do like how the episode, without drawing too much attention to it, does show that Dante does really miss Trish by his side. For reasons you can get into. Maybe it's because like she reminds him of his mom, or maybe just because. Yeah, maybe because he just likes the companionship. It's very vague. It's up to your interpretation of why Dante misses her. But I do like it's left that way. Another characters we get to in another episode are these fucking losers are so disappointing. What are they? The students of Sparta, the disciples of Sparta. So Sparta in this episode we get to this episode was interesting in premise. Basically, before Dante and Virgil became of age, I have to imagine, because I don't know when Sparta would have trained these motherfuckers. Sparta had two disciples, and I don't remember their names. It doesn't matter. They kind of suck.
It was before he went into hiding with his wife.
Okay, so he trained these two, and they, well, to draw in the parallel that they never bring up in the actual anime, they're supposed to be Dante and Virgil stand-ins, because you can't have Virgil in the anime, so this is kind of like their stand-in for that. And so like the black hair character is more the Virgil type, and well, no, actually it's kind of complicated. He's technically he's more of the Dante parallel because he eats the sundaes like Dante and everything, but he acts more like Virgil. And his brother acts like Dante, but he has Virgil's like motivations for why he does what he does. And the whole episode is basically about the Virgil stand-in being like, I need to prove myself, so I'm gonna fight Dante, which I thought was a bit silly because I don't think the anime does not bring this up. Dante beat the top dog demon in the fucking verse at this point. And I'm not saying you can't try, but I would like a little more hype up before you actually go to fight Dante, the final boss. You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. And then I think what makes it more disappointing is that Dante fights this dude, and it's just like miserable. It's like Dante clearly is better than him. There's no back and forth. It's just Dante just kind of playing with them. And I guess I felt like if you're the students of Sparta, I'm expecting a little something, something. If you wanted to say that Dante at this point is stronger than his dad, which I don't think is true. I think at this point he's just comparable. I don't think he's actually on his level. I think what you could do is have the twins show up earlier in the plot and have them maybe fight something impressive that gets Dante's attention. But I wouldn't really like, I wouldn't try to like say that like Dante's just so much over on them without showing what they can do. Maybe have them fight Lady and Trish, since they're the only two people that we can compare them to at this point. I just thought that
regular human.
Oh yeah, you're right. Fight
Congratulations,
Trish.
guys.
Fight Trish. At least that way I know, like, you're on Trish's level. So, but yeah, I think that was just kind of a missed opportunity, as well. Actually, you know what? I think I can't remember. Those fight scenes are so unmemorable, but it is what it is. I think he might have fought Trish at some point. Let's see what other episodes we got
There's a
here.
part where he fights Chris, but it's not long. It's not that meaningful.
Mm,
And more like she
okay.
fights with like Dante. Be here.
Yeah. We have another episode too. I don't have the thumbnails for all of them because they'll just be too long, too many photos. But we have another episode that deals with, and this one, again, you have to know the plot to understand where this comes from. There's another plot about the mystery of Anthony. A guy comes in essentially and tells Dante, like, "Oh, you're Anthony. I know you. You're like, we knew each other as kids." And Dante's like, "I don't know who the fuck you are." And so the mystery of the episode is like Dante is curious enough to go figure out, why does this guy think he knows me, and why does he call me Anthony and all this other shit. Now, if you know from the games, especially because Dante was supposed to be a Resident Evil character, so back then his name was Tony Redglave, but by the time the game transformed into Devil May Cry, he was called Dante. So in canon, they switched it to being like, oh, like that was like a name he went by at some point. And I get the lore a little bit confused on that end, but he went by that name when he lost his memory or something, and then he got his memory back, and then he became Dante again. So and apparently he got that name from when he was a kid. But
So wait, basically, when his mom died, it was like too dramatic for him. Basically, so put it like that. He lost his memory because of that situation. And he
okay,
he went to the town next over and went by Tony, Anthony, aka Tony, and that town itself is called Redgrave, and that's how he got the last name.
I see. Okay. But yeah, that whole episode was a bit like, it felt like it was a good premise to a mystery, especially because they do show you that on Dante's guns, the name Tony Redglave is on there, like Ebony and Ivory. They have Tony Redglave engraved on there. So I thought we were maybe going to get that story told here as opposed to like in the books or wherever this information is. But that never gets explained to you. Yeah, that never gets explained to you in the actual episode. Dante makes a passing comment like, "Listen, I'm not the Anthony you know. I went by that as a kid, but I don't go by that anymore. I don't know you. I don't know anything about this, and like, yeah, just kind of leave me alone about it." And that's all we get. And apparently, and Austin can fill in this more. Apparently, the person that this was supposed to be, that he thought it was Dante's twin brother Virgil, who actually was in this town.
Yeah.
Not that the episode tells you that.
Twins?
Yeah. So because Dante's an identical twin, they just thought it was the same. So.
Oh, you're gonna be very happy about that.
It's funny because like it implies that
don't spoil it.
No, that's remember like, but they imply that Virgil and Dante, while being in two different towns, some reason chose the same person and last name to go by while in hiding.
Yes. And so but they don't, because this anime refuses to go into Dante's backstory to any capacity other than Sparta in that one episode. There's no way of knowing that. So like it just seems like a confusing plot.
They give
like,
you a hint, but if you don't know of Virgil, there's no way you can grasp that they are him.
Yeah, so like by the time I end the episode, because I wasn't even thinking that could be, because it would just seem like a random thing for Virgil to do. So to me, it didn't even cross my mind. But like by the time I end the episode, I was like, wait, so who the fuck was Anthony? Like it's like very confusing.
Anthony.
Right. So and that episode I thought was like, but like again, I think Dante's character shines enough. There's a great gambling episode. There's like one where like Dante, it kind of goes to like detective Dante mode, because Dante is a detective devil hunter type thing, even though we don't go into that much. There's an episode on a boat, and Dante has to figure out who's the demon in the room, and the only way to do that is to play a card game. But if you lose, the demon kills you. And I actually really like this episode. Patty got involved as well, and I think it was like a Patty, Lady, and Dante episode. And Morrison was also there as well. And Morrison, by the way, for the fans who don't know, Morrison is like his dealer, the guy who gives him contracts and all that shit. And he's white in this anime, so there you go.
He's black in the game.
Yeah, they changed it from white. They changed it from white to black randomly between anime games, but it's fine. I don't really care. And so so in this episode, basically Dante has to play a gambling, but the crux of it is the stakes are Dante is notoriously bad at gambling. So how is he gonna get through this? I do like the twist at the end that like Dante figured out that there's a spell that makes you good at gambling, and that so he puts himself under it so he can win, but also he tells Lady like, listen, I'm going to crash out by the time the tournament is over. I need you to shoot me in the heart, so well close to the heart, so I die, like just shoot me where the pendant is so it breaks. And then I could get my senses back, and then I could stop the demon when she does her big plan reveal and all that shit. And it was like a really cool twist. I actually did like this episode a lot. It really did show how Dante was like thinks when he has to, like he's very clever when he needs to be. I was like, there's a funny joke where like Dante gets up and like Lady's like he's like, yeah, I did it, I missed the heart just like I thought I would. He's like, nah, actually you grazed it a bit, and she's like, shit. So I did like that bit. But you know, it was a fun episode. Then we kind of get to the back half of the show, and there starts being like a plot, and it comes out of almost nowhere. I think it's what was it? I think it starts in this episode, I want to say. Or the episode after this. This is the episode where the guy who's like this guy has a crush on a girl, and the girl says, oh, I'm not really interested in dating you. I'm more into guys like Dante. So he spends the whole day trying to study Dante and observe Dante. But so you see out of context, Dante just go around killing people. Like he goes in the bathroom and like a bunch of people just die and then just disappear. Like he hears the scream. So he goes into the bathroom and no one's there after Dante leaves. And he's like, what the fuck? And every day he tries to tell this girl that Dante is like, there's something weird about Dante. He's a menace to society. And and eventually just sees Dante just kill a demon or something, like Dante's a fucking demon, but this girl just won't believe him. So he's like, all right, fuck it, GG, I guess. So he tries to leave town. And I actually like Dante this moment. The moment he finds out what's going on, he's like, oh, I don't want this guy to leave town. That's kind of shitty. So he goes after the guy. He fights a demon in the desert, by the way. Like he's like, listen, I need this thing you took from my apartment. So I need to summon a demon to kill it. And so he does. And then the guy's like, and then he tells the guy, like, hey, by the way, you shouldn't really leave town without telling that girl you like goodbye, because you know it's gonna hurt her. So go back, you know, give her a chance. And so he does, and him and Dante are cool, and they become like buddies, like drinking Sundays and shit like that. I think after this episode, they introduce a villain who I don't have a picture for, but he's like some he's a mix of like Igor and Scrooge, I guess, like Igor and Scrooge. And he's constantly haunting Dante for the rest of the series, and Dante finds him annoying. But he doesn't really like kill him because I think he's like a human of some sorts. Eventually, the finale happens, and I think this is like a really bad finale with a really cool premise. Dante and Patty are arguing about cleaning the room. Patty wants Dante to be more clean, and Dante keeps like saying, "Whatever, I don't want to do it." And then he accidentally, like he's not thinking about it, but he makes a joke about Patty's dead mom. He's like, "Oh no," he says something like, did your parents teach you how to do teach you how to bind your own man or something like that? And she's like, I don't have parents. And she freaks out. And I like how Dante, like, for the rest of this episode thinks about that. He's like, yeah, he's so guilty about it. He's like, fuck, I should have said that. Why did I say that? So if Patty's just mad at him, I do like this moment because it does highlight, like, Patty and Dante haven't had an episode where it's just about them bonding, but I do like how throughout the course of the series they've bonded enough to where I believe this would affect Dante. Even they have a scene that's really great where Dante is, like, in the beginning of the show, he's on his own in his own room, and there's no one there, and he's just cranky. He's just like, yeah, I don't like being by myself anymore. Man, he never has a moment like where I miss Patty. Oh no. But it's just like a moment you just understand Dante's character. Eventually you find out that Patty's real mother gets involved in the plot, and she's also hiring Dante for a separate job. Apparently, you find out that Patty is from a long lineage, or maybe a short lineage. I don't know. They're a lineage of people who watch over this other demon named Abigail, and they have to
like that vampire girl we watched. That one movie?
Yes, but actually, instead of a vampire girl, it's a giant ass demon. Okay, excuse me. So this demon is sealed away by a pendant, but the pendant has the ability to knock away. So only a human can touch it. If a demon tries to get close, the pendant will like burn them alive or some shit. And yeah, so basically Dante has to keep it safe for a little bit and then like get it destroyed or something. But Dante's not really feeling this job, so he's about to quit as long as he gets paid. But then Patty shows up. He's like, "My mom, you're my mom," and Dante's like, "Oh fuck." And Patty, being an anime girl who's going through some emotional arc, she basically compromises everything and gets the pendant stolen by the villain, and he breaks it, and then Abigail gets free, and Dante gets. It's very hard to believe because I don't think people understand how much Dante can take. Dante gets quote unquote killed by this demon. I'm like, not the guy who beat Mundus though. Like I I don't think people understand.
To be fair, stabbing him in the heart and leaving a blade in there to keep him dead along the sword is there.
Okay, maybe you just caught him by surprise, I guess. It's just kind of like, I don't know. But Dante gets sent to the demon world and crucified and sealed away in the demon world. And so because of that, the world enters a new age of darkness where Abigail will reign over. I do like how yeah, so
the little ballerina girl.
Yes. So Lady and Trish come into this episode because it's the finale, and I do like how they're like, well, let's at least we'll wait for Dante a little bit, but honestly, I just want to try to fight this demon on our own, and they do. They fight the armies together. They're like, okay, well, these armies are gonna spawn infinitely. Let's go fight Abigail and just kill it. And they do their best combo move, and it's like Lady shoots a rocket, and then like Trish shoots it with lightning, and then she surfs on the rocket, and the rocket hits Abigail, but it doesn't do anything. And they're like, "Damn it! I guess we're waiting for Dante." It's like that was the best we could come up with. I was like, "All right, sure." And meanwhile, Patty goes down to the pits of hell to find Dante, and she goes by herself. And the reason that she's okay is because she still has the pendant, and the pendant keeps her safe. But like only to a certain extent. And so she tries to pull out the sword from Dante's like start. Actually, really did find this scene kind of touching. I like how she even brings up like she brings up like it was kind of silly for her to be mad at Dante in the first place. Like she wants to forgive, like she just wants him back. And you really feel the desperation and like her just trying to bring Dante back because she feels this is all her fault. And it is. But I did appreciate like how hard
it totally all her fault, by the way.
It is, because this would have been handled if Dante just did the thing. But yeah, so Dante, but she does get the sword loose enough, but she does fail in the end. I do like how they do milk this, because up to this point, there's been a formula of like, there's a problem, someone's about to die, Dante comes in, heroic music plays, and we save the world. And yeah. But at this point, none of that has happened. That multiple people have died. Every time Dante seems like he'll be back, he just isn't there. So when Patty fails to save Dante, or she thinks she does, and like she's about to die, and you feel like it's like, oh no, it's over. But I know Devil May Cry 2's next, so he's fine. And yeah, Dante does come up and save Patty, and he does his cool one-liner, and Patty passes out. And I think story-wise, I really like and concept-wise, this is really good like material for this anime, but it's played so short. We also get Dante using his devil trigger, which is the most used thing in the game for people like me. But like you'll use it for a second and you don't really get to see it. And I also like, I guess Devil May Cry 3 had to have come out at this time, because Dante says a quote that is a direct parallel to what he tells Virgil in the final fight, about how he's motivated by his desires of his soul, and that's what makes him stronger than a lot of other people. It's like, yeah, you might have all this power, but if you don't have the motivation of how to use it, you're gonna be weaker than me. It just is what it is. And I liked all that stuff. I just thought that the actual two-parter itself was very half-assed, very choppily made. I thought it was just kind of like it could have been like fleshed out a bit more. But yeah, Patty does eventually leave Dante, which again, I thought this could have been set up more. But yeah, Patty leaves Dante to go with his mother. Dante says like, listen, go live your life with your parents. I'll be fine. And Dante has to be by himself again. I really think there could have been a scene to highlight that like Dante is on his own again. But yeah, him, Lady and Trish go on one more adventure, and it ends with them fighting together in Devil May Cry. Yes. Overall, I think the anime is enjoyable. Again, if you just know the games, play at least Devil May Cry 1 and watch 3 or play 3. I don't care. Play both of those games. I think those are the best way to enjoy this. And when you play it, like actually, like I don't mean this in a condescending way. Actually pay attention to the story, because if you don't have any concept of Dante as a character or the nuances of it, this anime is not all that enjoyable to you. I think the main theme is actually really fun and really iconic. Actually, it's not typical Devil May Cry, but I do like it. But like, yeah, that's the best I could say. Austin, you have watched this anime, so I guess you want to share your quick thoughts on it.
I pretty much agree. By the time when I saw the anime, I already read the manga and stuff. So the Virgil stuff at the time, I think I called it immediately a lot of stuff. But like you said, everything is really much is if you will know the thing already, it's a great showing. You have no idea what the cry is for not watching the anime because this will not help you at all. And you're like, damn, this dude is kind of cruising.
It's just kind of its
that's
own
it.
thing. That's how I take a lot of the animes based off of games. It's its own thing.
Mm. I think
That
it's
would
a
make this
shame
one
too.
interesting because this one is the one that's supposedly supposed to be fully in canon. The only thing I think that negate, the only thing that goes against this is like Morrison change, but that Devil May Cry 5 was the first time he was ever shown in the game anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, you could just say the same story happened because Patty is also confirmed to exist in the Devil May Cry universe in 5, and that story. So the anime has to happen in that universe at some point. So like even if the anime isn't 1-to-1 canon, the major episodes did happen. Also, I don't see why all the episodes would be canon anyway, but whatever. Yeah, like I said, it was really fun to watch now that I understood and appreciate the universe. And again, it's not I'm trying not to be condescending. It just is what it is. But yeah, that was the Devil May Cry anime. Really enjoyable watch. And now I'm finishing Devil May Cry 3 to continue my Devil May Cry marathon, and then we can go to 4 and 5 and maybe and maybe the reboot if we get there. So we'll see. But yeah, without that said, let's go on to the next topic.
Finally, it's me. Now that Cryptid's here, we can finally freely talk about Avengers Academy. Ayo, you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about Marvel Voices Avengers Academy issue 35. And we get like a vintage inspired like comic book cover with Arnie Roth. So this is also an Arnie Roth issue, but you know, we get other people too. It's not just him. Don't worry about it. He's also punching Hydra in the face. It's great. But we get a special guests. We get Justin and Aaron. It's great. Okay. So we're in the past. We're at this weird Hydra dam thing. Hydra base that's also a dam. Do not worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay? Okay,
Called
Jay?
multi-tenancy.
Don't worry about it. There's also a dog here. Don't worry about the dog. So there's gun blazings, airships flying. It's great. So, you know, why can't I have anything? Oh, Arnie has a crush on a guy, which is not shocking because if you know him, it makes sense. So he says goodbye to his homie, at the moment homie. Okay, that's all I can say. And we also get introduced to this weird Hydra guy with a green mask on. And it's not like a typical mask, you know. When you think of a mask, you know what you think of. This is like a whole ass, like almost bed sheet, like a very small pillowcase on his head. Do you see where I'm getting at? But it's green.
Oh God.
Hulk.
Okay.
Hulk.
Yeah, and he has this weird magic staff, and he's like, "Be silent, Strucker, and behold the true power of Hydra." It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Everyone just shut up.
Did you say Hulk?
No, I didn't. I said shut up.
I did.
No, Jake said Hulk.
You said
I wish it was the Hulk. Unfortunately, it's not the Hulk. And honestly, I'm not gonna remember names, so I'm gonna have to scroll up a lot. So there's a lady that's on this, like, in this little crew with Arnie, and I'm gonna call her the Sarge because that's all I can remember. I'm trying to like remember everyone's names without having to scroll up, but I'm not gonna remember, so I'm probably gonna do character details. So the sergeant, she's like, okay, so she calls over to Justin and Aaron, who go by Firecrack and Stampede, which if you know anything about these two people, you know. So, you know, they're gonna have to get the lead out. It's gonna be great. And Aaron's like, okay, like, we're back in like the 40s. We're not in the 21st century anymore. So remember a few issues ago where I talked about this weird giant eldritch monster type D&D kind of monster type of thing. Well, it's back.
Yes.
It's back. It's not fun. Narla Gorath. I don't know why there's a Y there, but there's a Y there. Anyways, ships are shooting and planes are shooting at this weird tentacle monster thing with one eyeball, and so their pilot has to like evacuate so that he doesn't die from this giant tentacle D&D monster. But don't worry, he is almost fine because guess what we see?
I forgot his name. Captain America's friend.
No, we see a Hydra plane. And they're like, Viper, Captain, reporting. The American vessel is destroyed. Yay! Because it's a giant tentacle monster. So they all abandoned ship, which is not fun. But don't worry, we're fine. Just kidding. Arnie got captured. They all got captured. But Arnie got separated.
God damn it, Jake.
Yeah, he got separated from the rest of the crew. So he gets to lay on a nice comfy-ish bed. As comfy as Hydra would let him have. So, he wakes up by someone saying Happy Hanukkah to him, and he's like, bro, that sounds condescending as shit. Maybe because it's from Hydra, and they're Nazis, and we don't like Nazis. Anyways, so this motherfucker is like, how fitting that you should celebrate it in a rat's nest. And I'm like, that's fucked up, dude. And so Arnie is like, okay, Baron Von Strucker, you piece of shit. I don't want to see your face. Your face is ugly. Get out of here. And so that other guy, the one with the green pillowcase on him, yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's right. Like, the stink of your shame has followed you across the mountain range and the jungle. And so Arnie is like, well, dang. Like, I wondered when I hear that voice again. Like, he recognizes the voice. And so he's like, Ryuji, the serpent's tooth. Like, it's been a while. So he takes off the mask. And guess what? This is not no white man. As you can obviously tell by the name. Not white man. He's definitely of Asian origin.
Wait, hang on. Which I don't know if you remember. You have other pictures. Are we still on the first?
I'm not there yet.
Cover? Okay, I'm just making sure.
They're Asian Hydra people.
I didn't want too many pictures, so I tried to limit it to like.
Oh, okay. I'm just
3 or 4 plus the cover. Like, I'm getting.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
There's a lot of stuff that's happened in this issue. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we see this guy. He has a scar on his face. Okay. Not that important right now. Just kidding. He mentions a scar. So don't worry about it. Anyways, so Ryuji takes Arnie to the main base. And Arnie's like, oh, like, it suits you. Like, I take it that that was you with the spooky octopus. And Ryuji's like, oh yeah, our scientist engineer has summoned with the anti-mechanic, blah 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 blah. And Arnie's like, sheesh, just shoot me and spare the kids. Like, Jesus. Anyways, Ryuji's like, but Arnold, it's magic. Like, my collection is unmatched. Now the Gorath Stone, the Spear of Emotet, the Macran Fragment, and here is hidden somewhere in this Forsaken Valley. Can you switch to the first picture, please? Thank you. Oh, wait. Just kidding. It's fine. He has the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. He's gonna try to find it. Just leave the picture. It's fine. Anyways, so yeah, he's trying to find the Crimson Gem of Sidorak. There's a lot of gay tension in this one panel. I don't know why, but this is not the toxic yaoi I wanted. Anyways, so he has this like weird Satan claw. Don't ask why he has a Satan claw. He's just kind of boasting with all the magical artifacts that he has, which is a very Nazi thing to do. Don't worry. So he puts on the glove. And he's like, is it not beautiful, Strucker? And Strucker's like, it is supreme. The right man could change the world with such thing. And it's like, I'm going to have the world upon its knees, blah, 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 blah. And so he does what the picture is. And he's like, it is only a prototype, but not without its charms. And he basically shocks Arnie to his knees, which sucks. And now he has to go back to the mines, unfortunately. But it's fine. It's fine because guess what? All his friends are there. Yay! So,
High five in the mines.
he's back in the vines. Anyways, so Arnie starts talking to this one guy that's there, right? And he's like digging for magic rocks and spooky shrines. Like, this man's insane. And the person he's talking to is like, oh yeah, my grandmother told stories of Sidorak's temple when I was a kid, like fables. And he's like, oh yeah, I grew up over the valley, this ridge over there, you know, it was pretty chill until Hydra pulled up. Like, they raided our crops. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, they fucked us over. Just like the Japanese did. But this time it's Hydra. If you know, you know. And they took away his pregnant wife. Like, how fucking dare you, man? You piece of shit. Anyways, so this guy introduces himself. His name is Moon Ho Jin, or as what the Japanese call him, Taiko. If you read Justin's introductory Marvel Unlimited story, you would know who this guy is. He was I wouldn't say the first Juggernaut, but he was part of the original Juggernaut line before the one that Kane Marco pulled up and killed him because he didn't want to destroy the village that he grew up in. I don't know. It's a sense of morals, Sidorak. I feel like you should know better, but you're a demon. Why the fuck would I know? Anyways.
Which, I want you to know, the last Spider-Man issue turned him into a Juggernaut too.
Oh, wait, can you switch to the next picture, please? I forgot I had this as a picture.
Ignored.
I don't remember the pictures I post sometimes, okay? Especially since, I had to, it's been a couple days. Anyways, so Arnie introduces Moonho to the rest of the crew. I'm not calling him Taiko, bitch. You're gonna have to live with it, okay? I'm not gonna allow him to have his colonizer name, okay? This is a very strong Korean man, okay? Remember that. Anyway, so yeah, introduces the crew. It's great. And so guess what? Justin finally gets to meet his grandpa, but he doesn't introduce himself as Justin. He introduces himself as Ju-sung, which is his Korean name, because not everyone has two names, but some people do. Trust me, I know a few people who have multiple names. It's fine. Anyways, so they both agree on that they're both pretty strong. Fine Korean strength, as Moonho says. It's great. Anyways, so yeah, they're gonna try. It's not enough to escape, but they can try their goddamn best. It's fine. But guess what? Demolition delivery guys. Oh my god. You guys better get back when we light the fuse, just for your safety. It's great. It's great. Moonho uses his strength to make it seem like he's using the explosions. It's all good. It's all good because guess what? They're gonna fucking riot. It's gonna be great. But anyways, it doesn't matter because now they're outside. You want to know who's outside?
Yeah.
No. Okay. It's Aaron who's trying his best to have a decent Hanukkah during this trying times while stuck in a Hydra mining camp just to try to find a red rock. Can someone just tell him that just grab him a ruby and call it a day? Give Ryuji a fucking ruby. Anyways, so
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So Justin pulls up to where Aaron is, and they start chatting. It's great. So, and Aaron asks if he should be calling Justin Jun-sung, and it's all good. Can you switch to the next picture, please? Thank you. So Justin reassures them that it's they're both my name, one's not less than the other. But hey, with my grandfather here, I can only do so much, I don't need to make it weirder than it already is. Anyways, and they're talking about how time's already cracked, Immortus already let us know that history's already affected, it's fine. And Justin feels a little bit nervous about something. His tummy is rumbling. It's not fun. Anyways, so we cut over to Arnie and Ryuji having dinner, I guess. I don't know what they're eating. They're eating something. I think it's cake. Cannot confirm or deny what they're eating, but they're eating food. And they're just chit chatting, low key sexual tension for some reason. I don't want these two to have sexual tension. That's not the vibe I wanted. But anyways, it's fine. So Arnie talks about his time in the military before all this nonsense. It's whatever. But hey, he's not about to start kissing Fascist's ass now. It's really out of character for him. But guess what? He brought some dessert of his own. Kaboom! It's pretty sweet. And Ryuji's looks out the window. He's like, "What have you done?" And you see a bunch of explosions and everything because remember they planted a whole bunch of dynamite. It's great. And guess what? They're gonna escape. Yeah, I know they're gonna escape. And Strucker sends his men out to try to shoot them all. And can you switch to the last picture, please? So guess who shows up? Jake, switch to the last picture. Guess who shows up to take out the fire? Yeah, it's exactly who you think it is. It's Justin's grandfather. Oh my god.
The Hulk.
He's not the Hulk. He's a Juggernaut. Oh. There's a difference.
Oh, all right. My bad.
He's not the Hulk.
His whole thing. He's a Juggernaut. B word.
I'll take my exit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better. Anyways, so yeah, Moonho takes the shots. He could take it. He's fine. So Justin runs after him, and it's he can only do so much. You can't fuck with history that much. But anyways, that's where the issue ends. The next issue is called "Where Happy Little Butterflies Fly." Bluebirds Fly. My bad. And that's gonna be with Sheila and Brielle. But I'm not gonna get into that today because that's not what I'm talking about. That's for next week. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that's the issue. I hope you guys enjoyed.
I did.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you for enjoying.
I did not, because I want to be different.
That's Cryptid's job, not your job.
Well, I mean, I'm Cryptid for the next 2 weeks, so.
At least you're down to actually listen to the Avengers Academy stuff, okay?
Well, with that said, I guess we should move on to the next one, as Cryptid would say, in that exact tone.
Daredevil.
Yes, Daredevil Unleash Hell, but it's Elektra. So, Jake, can you go to my picture real quick? I need to see what I have.
Wait, hang on. Hang on. I gotta ask. Has anyone ever complained about Daredevil and Elektra since she's been a thing?
It's more. They didn't mind her taking the mantle, but now that because she was taking over while Daredevil was in jail, but he's been out of jail for a long time now, so people kind of want to see her go with her own thing. They're not mad that she's Daredevil, but it's getting kind of annoying having to buy 2 different books for both of them.
Okay. All right. Anyway, 1, 2.
That's it.
Is that Mr. M?
Oh, okay. No, Mr. M. Hell no.
In the words of Wong, did you expect more?
A long time. Well, when we did issue number 1, I showed a picture of some twisted electric art, but that artwork had now made it to the real world, and you get the cops reacting to it. And they're all like, "Oh my god, this is disgusting! I'm going to be sick. What kind of sick son of a bitch could do this?" And then they cussed the Daredevil. Where is she? I don't know, Jake. It just says elsewhere. Jake, I won't lie though. When I first saw that, I thought it said Elseworld. So I'm like, oh, this is a DC book then.
Oh, I see.
But she get in a fight with some thugs. She headbutts some people, beat them all up. Standard quick stuff. She holds up to Cole North. Cole North is a long-term cop in Hell's Kitchen. He was created by Chip Zdarsky, some other stuff. He's also going to be in the new Daredevil show, so be prepared. But he come to tell her, look, man, this artwork's of you. You know anybody who can do this? And she's like, yeah, I do. It's Muse, but he's dead. And he's like, look, just because a person died, I don't mean they stay dead. This is Marvel, baby. Everyone dies. I done died. You done died. This ain't weird. She starts undoing the artwork to try to understand how it was made. and it's kind of interesting. But on the artwork, Jake, on her back has a location. Before that, she meet up with the actual Daredevil, Daredevil, the man.
Oh, okay.
And
How about to
from
say?
their point of view, he's like, listen, Muse is dead. I'm not going to
Okay.
say you can't handle this, but I would like to do this
Right.
with you. And she's like, you don't need to baby me. I'm a grown woman. I'm like, I
Yeah.
love you, idiot. I'm just trying to make sure you don't go off and die again. You have a history of dying to people who try to kill me.
Well, how about you stop dying too, man? You have a history of dying. Fuck you.
Go to the next picture.
Oh.
Oh, I know. I found that perfectly. I didn't even remember what picture it was, to be honest. But as you can see,
Is this Ultra Instinct?
Muse's apprentice is making her next Daredevil piece, well, Elektra piece. This one, all Elektra, as you can see. And she's using the blood of her victims with a Muse classic. But as you see, it's the ghost of Muse trying to hype this girl up. I understand he's like possessing her and talking to her and stuff. I don't understand how she has his powers. But I don't know hell. I ain't never been. It was probably some hell special power. Or maybe I don't remember the last issue that well. I've been through a lot. But as you can see, she's trying to put in the final artwork. And Muse is like, oh, look at this masterpiece. You're not done yet. There's a fracture in your soul. And then I knew that turmoil in you will allow you to become great. I knew you needed me to fulfill your creative desires. Okay. We cut to her talking to her victim. And she's like, bro, just chill out. You're going to be used for something beautiful. You're going to change the world with this art. You should be honored to be here, be a part of my work. Where the hell did you come from? Hell is exactly where I came from. I thought that was funny. But she tells this guy to relax, Jake, and then she punches this man's head off. I don't have
Relax
to pick
while
it
I
up.
kill you.
It's a little bit too brutal even for me.
Yeah.
This is a rated R book, everyone. There's a lot of blood everywhere.
More blood than
She started
Invincible
getting ready
season
to
3
use this
finale.
man for art. Yeah. It's starting, she's beginning to use this man for art. Daredevil's already on the way, though. And for some reason, Muse can sense it. His power that he's a sensory black hole. I don't think that let him detect people. I guess he can. I don't think that lets him detect people like that. But maybe he's dead. I don't know. It's ghost power.
Bro, just say he can sense power levels, okay? Chill.
He feels her aura. She's aura backing through the window. But he's like, "Do we have a guest? You need to keep working, okay? I'll go talk to the guest." He shows up behind her. Oh, he's talking about what? Jake Muse looks at her. He just puts on his thing and say, like, damn, Daredevil kind of lovely. He's looking at her ass.
Oh, damn.
This is the first time he appreciated a piece of art that he didn't make.
I'm so lonely.
That's basically how I felt like. I've been in hell for a minute. This girl kind of not my type. But
they think
Muse finishes and then trips over the dead body. She trips over the dead body up there. And then the moment she gets up, Daredevil breaks in. And Daredevil's also about to destroy the artwork. And she's like, I won't let you take this from me. But as she goes to hit the girl, she blocks it with her arm. And she's like, this girl has no training. And have beaten better. I don't understand what's going on with her. And Muse says, you don't understand because you don't need to. It's time for this girl to level up. Go to the next picture.
Next, where's my mouse? There we go. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, hang on. My mouse broke.
You're a host, everybody.
Oh, wrong one.
That's the rule. You're a host, everybody.
I'm sure.
And he said, Daredevil, it's nice to formally meet you. And she's like, Muse, leave Morgan alone. You're not here under duress, are you, Morgan? She's like, nah, I like this guy. This guy's kind of cool. And then he possesses her body. He says, where were we? And that's this picture. It's they're doing a long about way to bring Muse back. I like it. Like I said, some of the stuff with his powers I just might not be remembering well. He had one story arc and he was killed off, and then the last issue came out like last month. But I'm enjoying it. The artwork still is great. Music is still interesting. I don't understand. I don't know how big a role he's going to play in the TV show. Me and Jake have been talking, well, seeing it because we're already what? It's like 8 episodes, right? We're already on episode 3. He hasn't showed up, so like it feels weird to go out your way to bring him back, and then like he plays like a really small role or something. So I'm hoping his role is bigger in the show. But I think it's a good issue. It's like a 7 out of 10. That's it.
All right. That said, you seemed like you enjoyed your issue. I'm gonna say I didn't enjoy mine. We're continuing.
You did it?
Bionicle. I did not. We're continuing. Bionicle Island of Doom. Now, I gotta say, if you were a Bionicle fan when this book came out, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you were like day one and you came out with it, I could see because the way we act with legacy replacements today, ooh, I could have. This would have hurt. This had to hurt. Last time on Bionicle Island of Doom, the Toa Nuva had finally arrived to Boyanui, aka the Island of Doom. It had been overrun with the Paraka, who had been posing as Toa in front of the Matoran until they had the means to enslave them using their, enslavement spears. By the time the Toa Nuva came in, it was too late. They had no idea this was even happening. They were just here to look for the Mask of Life, because when we found out that the universe is dying and it needs the Mask of Life to give it a jump start, even though that the Toa Nuva have already, awakened it and, brought it back to, Motunui is awake now, but he's just poisoned. He's sick. He has cancer. So, we gotta give him the Mask of Life to fix him with that. So the Toa Nuva make it to the island and they start fighting the Paraka. And the Paraka have been hyped up a bit. The Paraka are known as Toa killers. They've killed and tortured Toa in the past. So, it kind of makes it more interesting. You also got to remember that the Toa Nuva, these are the original main characters of the franchise. And by the time you get to Mask of Life, they are an unstoppable team. They have learned that the power of friendship beats all, that they got to stop arguing. They got to stop being the Avengers and be more like the Teen Titan. Well, no, they argue too. But think of a team that never argues and gets the shit done. That's what the Toa Nuva have become. So the Toa Nuva fought last week when I reviewed this. The Toa Nuva began their fight, and it was pretty much 50-50. The Paraka were winning. The Toa Nuva were winning as well. There were some losses, some victors on all sides. I kind of wish I got to finish this last week. But so basically we left off. Tahu was fighting Zocton. And the reason this fight is difficult is because the thing about the Paraka that makes them different than the other Toa Nuva enemies is that the Toa Nuva fight like very straightforward enemies. Usually the power, they have one power and it's kind of a busted power maybe, but they find a way around it and they make it work. Or they just team up, all come together in the group circle and beat them up. But each Paraka has their own, you could give them like a list of powers for each Paraka. And that's worrying because usually they might have to deal with maybe this guy's a good fighter and also he can control gravity or some shit. But this one is like, oh well, no, not only is he a good fighter, but he's good with swords. He can disappear into the mist. He could reform his body parts, and that's just 1 out of 6. And that's basically the struggle they've been having this whole fight. Tahu fights Zocton dealing with these parameters, and he loses. And then the Toa Nuva realizing quickly that they are not doing well anymore. Like this fight is quickly turned in the Paraka's favor. So Anua and Lee were like, listen, Anua's like, listen, this ain't working out. We gotta retreat. We'll come back and we'll save our brothers later. But if we don't leave, we're not gonna live to fight another day. And Lee was like, nah, because like I'm Motunui, I'm not gonna leave my brothers and sisters behind. What kind of Toa would I be if I left my brothers and sisters here? I would rather die. All right, I'm getting to the field, and we have a plan. We're gonna make a plan. And so they do. They come up with a plan to try to save them. But props to the Paraka though, they're not like the type of like. Just because the Toa come up with a plan doesn't mean the Paraka can't come up with a counter plan. They're just as competent as the heroes. So when they do try to save them, Zocton's like, okay, listen, Avok, I need you to use all your power to stop them right here and now because I am not risking fighting these guys again. And Avok's like, but if I do that, I won't have enough power for like a second round. Like I might die. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Just do it. And Avok uses all his power to just entrap the Toa in like a stone tomb, and sure enough, the Paraka win, and they actually do beat the Toa Nuva, because this is, after all, a villain book. Now, living up to the premise of a villain book where actually the villains do defeat the heroes in the end is pretty cool. I think
Michael!
shoot. Yeah, they actually do it. Like, I mean, like, look at it. This is the Toa Nuva. Just so you know, they have ascended. Okay, these are just regular Toa. They were Toa made by Mata Nui himself. God made these Toa, and then they got a power up. Okay, and
Why
then they
they
are the
all over farming?
because this is the Toa Nuva. Listen, the original trailer is just for the Toa Nuva is literally aura farming. There's a guy who just like, and now they have ascended Toa Nuva, and then like they show the whole canisters and all that. It's really cool. This is the aura farming trailer. But yeah, these are the Toa Nuva. They've been your boys since the early 2000s. And then the first time you see them again, they lose. Even though they're all together, there's nothing wrong with their tactics. They're fine. They haven't even they might have underestimated them a little bit, but not enough to where they couldn't adjust. They just flat out lost. There's no excuse for it. There's nothing you could say. The Paraka were just better than them. And I think my only problem with that is just the timing. You gotta understand, the Toa Nuva are essentially the main characters of this whole saga. We haven't seen them since like 2004. It's in this part of the story, it's 2006. You've gone 2 years without your main protagonist, and they come back and they just lose. You know what I mean? I could see, and the only reason they lost is so we can introduce the next set of Toa that are coming in later. So this is like peak. This is like if the Fantastic Four were just off the board for like years after Secret Wars, and they come back, and then they just get their asses horribly whooped, and like it's just bad, and then like they just disappear.
You know,
and then the
Iron Fist, right?
Yes, I guess so.
Iron Fist, he lost his power for years. Guy finally back, died.
Right. So that's what it in the future about. Yeah. So basically, we're just use Iron Fist as an example. And not just that, they get disrespected too. Because then Zatan's like, don't just beat them. All right. Now that we beat them, we take off their masks too. So all these cool, colorful masks, they get their masks taken. I'm like, oh man, that just sucks. And what's crazy is they're not even my favorite team, but I feel for my dogs, bro. It's just kind of shitty.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That's kind of cool, bro. I would have made a haul of it. So you walk down the hall, you see the mask of everyone I defeated, and these guys.
So, it's an impressive W for the Paraka. It really sets up the stakes. I really do appreciate that the Paraka ain't nothing to fuck with, especially because the game version of this, Bionicle Heroes, makes them fucking jokes. I will review that game on a different day. But in this book, they've cemented themselves. They're the greatest threat in this universe, other than Makuta and the upper echelons of the Shadow Hunters and whatever. But I just gotta say, I understand as a fan of this franchise, it would suck if you were here since day one and this is what happens to the Toa Nuva. I get it. That said, next time, I just wanted to finish this up because I didn't get to finish it last week. Even though all hope is gone, we move along, we make it through. Because next week, we're following the real protagonist of the series, which is Jaller and his team. That's right. Throughout the course, since book one, we have been building up side characters, background characters who maybe had 1 or 2 lines of dialogue, but did something very important in the past. And now that the Toa Nuva are gone, they are stepping up as the next generation of heroes, which I think is a W premise. These are people who have either been damsels in distresses or have clutched up in unique ways. Take, for instance, Jala. He's the whole reason that the 7th Toa was even found. We're dealing with the best never. Yes. So we're dealing with we have the best engineers on the island of Matanui that made that gave the Matorans weapons that they could fight so they could fight off the Boron swarms, things along those nature. So all these people are going to be really interesting in their own ways. They're a perfect mix of like if the Toa Nuva had Matoran experience, that's what this team is. And I'm just gonna skip ahead here. We're gonna call them. I'm not gonna show their Toa names so we get their actual Toa suits, but we're gonna call these guys the Toa Ignika, and this begins the Ignika saga. So as I said, yes, there we go. But yeah, it was just kind of disappointing. I knew this was gonna happen ahead of time too. That's the worst part. But it's just disappointing because I did start getting to as someone who didn't care about them as kids, I was starting to get to like the Toa Nuva, and I know they're gonna come back, but it just kind of sucks. It is what it is. So yeah. So there you go. W villain book for the Bionicle universe, a villain book where the villains win, even if it's against the superheroes. So W chapter. So I guess there you go. Mm-hmm. But that said,
Okay.
we will move on. Yeah, we'll move on to the.
Oh, let me ask you this though:
What's up?
can these people stop the Viltrumite invasion?
Fuck no. What? Sir, you fucking crazy? Oh no.
If you get a TMNT, their best gear, can they win?
Are you talking about like? Are you just talking about the toe Nike, or you mean the actual TNMT?
The TMNT versus
Oh, okay, because you
Toei
called them TMNT. That's why I was confused. Yeah, the TMNT probably not. I mean, even if it's Rise, like they're still like flesh and blood. Like they're not durable enough to take a
All right,
Viltrumite
let
invasion.
me add Shredder to their team.
Which Shredder?
The whoever wants the best.
2003, I guess, but even him, it's like he's just stubborn. He just finds some way not to die.
I'm
I
gonna
don't think
find a
it's
way
how
for them to win one day. Okay, we'll cover that next week.
Well, there you go. But anyway, moving on to the next one. Oh, my mastery turn.
Which
Hi. So I wanted to, since we didn't have a lot of books, I wanted to talk about an oldie but a goodie. This is Marvel Fanfare Volume 1, Issue 28. And as you can obviously tell, this is the Alpha Flight one. You might not be asking yourself, why? 'Cause I could. Is that a crime?
what the hell is that?
What is what?
What robot is that?
That's Box.
Jake, they're making up people.
That is Roger Box, spelled with the CH, in the box armor. There's
Who's
two
the
people.
lady with gold glove and black hair?
Wait, who are you talking about?
Who's the girl who's by North Star's ass?
That's Aurora. This was by the time where she had a mental breakdown and she cut off all her hair and got a new costume. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's easily the worst I ever seen her. Not the
It's a
hairstyle itself,
dumbass
but
haircut, yes.
that you would not be able to tell that's who she is if you saw her regular outfit.
You'll get a better look at it later. Do you have any more questions before I officially start the book?
No, I think I know everybody else.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get started. Marvel Fanfare, issue 28. It's the Alpha Flight one because I'm lazy. Anyways, so we get a little editorial note. They're basically saying that, like, hey, this issue is, Alpha Flight was made by the Jean Byrne. It's like, hey, but it's a mostly Canadian team. What about that? Oh my god. Anyways, doesn't matter. Not important. So we get the main page, and we see big numbers. Like we see not numbers. Well, yes, numbers and also letters. Like in the movies where you see that, like the serial killer or whatever, or like the stalker having like sending in the notes, but like they cut out newspapers and such and put like the words together. You know that?
Yeah.
So they kind of did that with the
It's a
title
Polish
of
story.
this. So basically, it's called Murder by Numbers 1, 2, 3, and we see JP running. He running. We don't know why he running, but he's running. So you could see him going. Like he arrives to Toronto like 30 minutes later, and it's like, why are you running on the ground? You can fly a lot faster. Like, what? Bitch, you can run. Anyways, it's as easy to learn, That's also another thing. And he ends up at a building or something that's on fire and everything like that. And he jumps over the barricades, and a police officer is like, "Hey, this is a restricted area, man. You can't pull up here." And JP speaking Quebecois French specifically. I feel like I need to preface that because he's not from France. He's from Quebec, or Quebec, depending on who you are. He shows his Alpha Flight ID, and the officer's like, "Okay, I don't know French, but I do know this, so go on ahead." So he sees these two guys holding a stretcher with a person on it, and he's like, "Oh my god, am I too late? Like I crossed like half a continent to get here. Like, is my friend Jacques okay? Like So he lifts up the thing, lifts up the little the sheet, and he's like, "I will avenge you, mon ami." It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. You're dramatic as shit. Like, okay, let's see what happens. Anyways, so that's where that part ends. Okay, switch to the first picture, please. Jake. Jesus Christ. You have
Jake
one
Woo,
job.
thank you. Go to the next week. Thank you.
Anyways, so we see the whole squad. Well, whatever squad is here. Love their fruity little poses. That's great. This is a very dramatic. I love the art in this book. I feel like I need to preface that because I'm going to bring that up a lot. Ken Stacy, if I ever meet you, I'm going to find this issue because I do actually own the physical issue. And I'm going to have you sign it because I love this issue. This is a greatly drawn issue. Okay? Anyways. So, Vindicator, also known as Heather McNeil. I'm not saying her husband's last name because he's dead at this point. Anyways, so she's like, okay, why the hell were we summoned here, Commander? Like, oh, like we're not here for the Canadian government. We don't work for y'all anymore. And like the commander guy is like, oh yeah, so I am very much retired now, and it's like, hey, now we have to talk about a certain member of your team that was a part of the FLQ, which I'm not going to say the full name because I'm not looking that shit up again to remember how to pronounce it. But all you need to know is that in the 70s, there was an attempt to secede from the Union, as they say, for Quebec to be its own country. That didn't work out so well. Obviously, as you know, they are still a part of Canada. Remember that, Austin. All the bombings and kidnappings were basically for nothing.
Remember on your history test, students.
Remember your history. Anyway, so everyone's like shocked. They're like, what? Like, who do you mean? North Star's like, not again. Like, god damn it. And so Aurora pulling up, she's like, okay, before you make any charges against my brother, I will have you know that, like, he has stopped recent terrorist murder plots, against different members of, like, leaders of the United States and Canada, which it was brought up in Alpha Flight 22, which they have a little box for. I love it. And so JP is, doing JP stuff. He's like, okay, if it is so as to reflect, it's like, hey, like, don't blame me. Okay, I already know what I did. And Aurora's like, it's true. Like, JP did make such pledge to Alpha Flight. Like, he got a chip and everything. Okay, like, he's like, I abandoned the political violence. Okay, but I will not betray my friends. And it's like, okay, bestie. I'm trying to remember what she said. Okay. And so the commander guy is like, God damn it, like, I'm not on this job to punish people, just to try to save them. Okay, bitch. And he's also like, and there you learn, like, all your super speed to protect your former terrorists and all this other stuff. And JP's like, what are you fucking talking about? And the commander, like, opens up a control panel and shows, like, where JP was the previous night. He was at as you remember from literally like 5 minutes ago, he was at the scene with, like, the fire and his friend Jacques was killed. The vibe. So he's trying to blame him for what? Anyways, yeah, so the person who was killed was also a part of the FLQ and was homies with JP. It's great. And it's like, this commander guy is trying to blame JP for a crime that he didn't do. It's like, okay, bitch, you're gonna get your ass beat. Like, and so JP is like, okay, Jacques phoned me, and someone who, like, was hunting him down. Like, I had nothing to do with this. And like Puck is like, okay, you can't blame yourself. Like, you try to save your friend, and this commander guy needs to shut the fuck up. That's all I gotta say. Okay, Austin, you gotta shut the fuck up before I beat his ass. I'm gonna beat up an old man just like JP before me. Anyways, so JP basically info dumps on his backstory. This is the most amount of backstory we've gotten for a while regarding JP. They do not bring up the FLQ stuff anymore, which is really kind of funny because that is a big part of his character. If they can bring up Vietnam for Karma, they can bring up the FLQ for JP. Okay, shit. They're like, but it's not a major historical event. It is for some people. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, he info dumps. It's great. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, once the bombing started, I was like, I can't do that, so I'm out of here," which is true. He was like, "I'm out of here for that shit." Sorry, hydration's important. And this motherfucker, this commander motherfucker, is like, okay, like Canada searched for its soul after the October crisis. It's like, shut the fuck up, shut up. I didn't ask for your opinion. And so Aurora's like, okay, what does this have to do with my brother? Like, okay, this has basically nothing to do with him. And the commander's like, okay, we suspected, some certain, I guess he's a part, like, why can't I speak today? I don't know why. He's like, we suspected Cell Compatitor had a seventh member, and all this other stuff. And so they're all trying to be like, this has to be you, JP. Like, what? And so, like, JP does this, like, dumbass pose. And he was like, yes, it's true, but I only carried the messages. Like, don't shoot the messenger. And all this other stuff. And so this commander guy is like, you've shown, like, definite disavowal of your past as a member of Alpha Flight. And so JP's like, I never given up on my principles, though. Like, I just didn't like the violence. Okay, JP, like, your history of beating up bigots and old men really proves that point home, Right, Austin?
Yes.
He almost killed a guy by chucking him in the atmosphere. It was great. But then he wasn't allowed to because moral code X-Men bullshit. Anyways, so everyone's like, okay, so he has no choice. He has to, like, do what's right. So JP's like, you know what? Fuck all you guys. I hate you. I'm off. I'm gonna go try to find my friends and save them. Like me and myself alone, and they try to follow him as best as they can, but keep in mind he has a chip on him, so it's, he can only get away for so long. It's fine. So the commander guy is doing some sinister shit. No, he's not Mr. Sinister. I'm sorry to break the news to you, but he has, like, this evil grin on his face. It's, like, very evil looking. So they're gonna go track him down. So that's what they do. Anyway, so we see this other guy, right? This other guy in this, like, weird metal suit that was made by Guardian, by James Hudson, and for Amcan, which also kind of works under Roxxon, but don't worry about it. This guy calls himself Scourge. Scourge? That's stupid. Anyways, so Alpha Flight tracks down JP to this, like, this theater, as you will. Can you switch to the next picture? And guess what? Next picture. Next picture. Thank you. Guess what? They found him, and JP's
Wait.
like,
I want to say something. I was waiting till you got that. Go back.
Okay, I guess go back.
I got two things to say. First, Puck looks stupid.
No, my fault. He's that short.
And second, the twins are rude as shit, putting their ass on my fucking thing like that. Look at that.
It's in their nature. I'm sorry. They're bitchy French people. What do you want me to do about it? They're bitchy French people, and one of them's gay as hell. What'd you expect? Anyways. So JP is like, what? You've been tracking me now? What the fuck? He's like, how? And he's like, and Aurora's like, what do you mean? Like, you got chips, dude. And JP's like, oh, I would have expected Alpha Flight to doubt me. But, like, like they always have, like, fuck you guys. Like, but I've hoped that you would put more trust in my pledge to never go back to terrorism. And Aurora's like, I want to believe you, but we all want to help your friends. And JP's like, my friends are just fine. But guess what? We have a big explosion. And basically JP's friend Clementine, who we do meet in a previous issue. We also get introduced to Pink Pearl in that issue in 22, I think. Yes, 22. Anyway, so there's a big complosion. Yeah, that's a word. From backstage and everything, but don't worry, almost everyone's fine. You have big fire pillar thing. Not fun. So JP goes to his friend who was literally murdered. And Puck tries to follow him, because he could do the cartwheel thing. Unfortunately, Clementine did die. All she wanted to do was perform, the world was her stage, and now she's dead. So fuck all you bitches for doubting him. And he's off. because fuck you guys. Because love fuck you. Anyways, I love the sound of typing in the background.
No one got told.
Anyway, so Alpha Flight's back at square one. They're like, okay, so what's going on here? If Clementine was killed by McKeith's murderer, like, where the fuck is he? Where the fuck is he at? So they're back on the prowl. Scourge is back, and he's like, well, those Alphans suspect that there may be a killer one step ahead of North Star on the tourist trail. Blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, we all know who you are. We all know who the killer is, dude. We're not stupid. Anyways, meanwhile, they're going across Toronto. It's great. So they're following JP again with Scourge right on the back of their tail. And they do bring up that Marina doesn't have a chip like the rest of them, which is kind of bullshit because, like, she doesn't even answer the call half the time. She has a fucking brooch. Why couldn't you just chip her like everyone else? I don't see what the fucking problem is. Like, at least Shaman is able to without having to be chipped because, magic shit. But, like, come on. Austin, isn't that a dumb idea for the fish lady to not be chipped?
Is this the same fish lady as I made fun of at one time?
Marina?
Yeah.
The one that I talked about having the wings for some reason?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her.
Yes, it is.
The one who married Namor? Yes, that one. Hydration check. Anyways, so Scourge is right behind him, and he's doing dumb shit. Anyway, so JP enters a scrapyard, and he goes to warn two of his friends about what's happening, and they're like, "Don't worry, we got the guns. It's fine. Like we'll show them." And so guess what? A box. He literally tears this abandoned bus in half, and he's like, "Fine, friends, you got there, speedster." It's like, God damn. And finally, they're using some cursing of the Quebecois variation. I swear, if Alpha Flight does show up in the MCU, which I highly doubt they will anytime soon, but if they did, if I do not hear very specific cursing coming out of any Quebecois character they bring in, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, I need one of them, at least one person too. Okay, that will make me satisfied with my life. Anyways, besides the point, getting off topic. So yeah, Box rips open the thing. Heather basically blasts away the guns, and guess what? They're all fighting. They're all fighting. And it's like, come on. But guess what? Before JP was able to do anything too fun, or before he gets away, Box literally grabs him by the ankle and chucks him down to the ground. It's like, bro, that's even rude. That's your teammate there. But yeah, and his friends are running away. They're like, let the fools destroy each other while we escape. And before they're able to actually escape, guess what happens?
Someone gets shot.
No, there's another kaboom. They're both dead.
Damn.
Yeah. And so, like, JP's obviously pissed off because not only that his friends are dying, but also his teammates don't believe that he's not the murderer. So obviously, he's pissed the fuck off. He's like, hey, they needed to protect themselves. That's why they had the guns and all this other stuff. They're just trying to live like the rest of us. It's like McKeith sent not only me, but you guys on their trail. It's like, what the fuck? He's pissed the fuck off. He's pissed off. So they all fly away together. But guess what? They're making a plan. Like, JP has more friends that lives in the suburb. It's great. So they're just vibing. So Scourge comes in and he's looking through the neighborhood, And guess what? He sees a person walking. The guy's a little bit nervous because if I was just walking and I see this guy in a metal suit chasing after me, I would be a little bit nervous too, even if I didn't do anything. Anyway, so Box pulls up and he punches the shit out of Scourge, which is awesome. But don't worry. And guess what? So the house that this other guy was living in was a ploy to have everyone else pull up, So yay. Snowbird like looks at like shields the guy from Scourge. Puck punts him, with his feet. That's how that works, and all this other stuff. And they're fighting. They're fighting this guy. Deserved. And Aurora uses her blinding light ability, which she has, to blind him. And so the guy takes off his helmet. Do you want to know who's underneath the helmet?
It's Iron Man.
I wish Iron Man. No, it's McKeith, Commander guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
obviously, but damn.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
You couldn't wait for like another book to betray us, bro?
No, because I think he only shows up. I think this issue, one other, I don't remember. He's not that important. Anyway, McKeith is like, yes, I used to lead me to my targets so that I could get rid of them and have to be served. And G is not having any of it. He's like, justice? You called what you did justice? And McKeith is like, oh, don't speak to me of justice, North Star. Like, I aided them in their crimes. And JP does what he does best, and Blitz attacks him. And he's like, I will not allow myself or my friends to be judged by a bloodthirsty fanatic. And like, this guy is out for blood. Like, he's so out for blood that his gloves are all like tattered and bloody because of this guy. Keep in mind, the next time we see this guy fight an old man, it was in 106, and he almost killed the guy because he was about to kill his daughter. I'm just saying, this guy has more morals than other people that we know on this team. Anyways, so the rest of Alpha Flight have to hold him back because, like, he's gonna kill this guy. And, like, McKeith is just, like, on the ground, just looking pathetic as hell. Snowbird's just in the background. She turns into, like, a bear, I think. I don't know what she turned into. She turned into a bear-like animal and basically slashes him from behind and, knocks him out. The police come. They arrest the guy. JP is upset that his friends are dead, but it's okay because they got the justice that they deserved after being murdered. And Box has to like calm everyone down, like the spectators on, like, okay, guys, like back up, like the show's over. Anyways, can you switch to the last? Oh, not yet.
Wait. What about our justice for having to see this terrible haircut on the wall? Look at this panel.
Trust me. You have to go look at the John Byrne art. I'll send you a picture of what Aurora looks like during the John Byrne era. Okay, it's not my fault.
Okay.
It's not my fault. Okay, she had a crisis. And then her shitty boyfriend experimented on her and fucked over technically 3 people for no reason. For a temporary solution. I'll talk about that after I finish the book, okay? I'm almost done with it, okay? Anyways, so JP's in the hospital. He got his hands bandaged up. It's all good. The rest of Alpha Flight, mostly everyone checks up on him. And he's like, I'm fine, But, hey, it's all good. He also info dumps back on his backstory. It's fine. And everything. Can you now switch to the last picture, please? So JP holds up a little container holding the chip that he had implanted in him when he joined Alpha Flight. He's like, you know what? If we need to build trust between us, I'm not going to be fucking chipped. So if we're a so-called family, you have to start trusting me, okay? Cool. And they all agree. And there's actually a plot hole regarding this issue because later in Alpha Flight Volume 4, JP has the chip back in because he heard the call. And I'm just like, when did he get that shit put back in? Does anyone know? No? Did I miss something? I probably did, honestly. But guess what? That's where the issue ends. Slay, I guess. Yeah. What were we talking about? Aurora's haircut? Huh?
This pug suit is so bad.
It could have been worse. Trust me. I've seen worse.
It looked like the P is sticking off his shirt.
He does have a P on his shirt. It's P for Puck.
No, it looks like he has a regular shirt and there's like a styrofoam P on top of the shirt.
I'm trying to remember when she cut her hair. Hold on. Don't worry. I have to get past the point in time where okay, I'm here. I'm almost there. But I'm at the crash out issue. Hold on, I'm trying to find it for you so that we can. Oh, don't get me started with Doug. I hate Doug. He's annoying. But anyways,
That's Jake's favorite character.
It's true.
and I think it's funny
Doug
that
the
in the
milkman.
issue where Aurora is about to cut all her hair off, she's wearing an orange towel. And I know that might not mean anything to you, but the place that she's in Walter's apartment. She's in Sasquatch's apartment, and when he turns into Sasquatch, he's a big orange monster. So there's a joke that this one other podcast who makes Alpha Flight stuff talked about, that it was actually made out of his fur.
I was about to say this either made out his fur or this dude's disgusting because you'll never be able to tell if his fur's on it.
True. I hate Walter so much. I hate him so much. I hope he dies. So that I can. But technically, he can't even turn into Sasquatch anymore. So thank the gods. Am I right? Yes, we know Guardian is dead. Can I just finally see Aurora? It's been a minute. I don't need a Rebel back. Okay. Okay, I have to go to the Gilded Lily issue. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to find it for you. I promise I'm gonna find it for you. But yeah, that's basically the end of Marvel Fanfare issue 28. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. I love the art. This is actually one of the first things that was written by Bill Mantlo before he actually went on to Alpha Flight, which is a whole thing in and of itself that I don't want to get into. Okay, I found it.
Wait, I'm not gonna lie, Witch. I hate the La Fin at the end. I know it's a French way at the end. I hate it.
It's okay. I don't blame you. Blame Bill Mantlo, not me.
Well,
or blame the letterer. But anyways, I just sent it. But anyways, we can move on now.
Yeah, to the ending, because that's all our topics. So it was nice to see you guys again.
It's up to you. I don't care.
Oh.
Austin, I just sent it to you.
No, I'm looking.
No, just let us
fucking asshole.
Okay.
There you go. That was the reveal of Aurora's new outfit and haircut in issue whatever.
I don't like how everyone is behind her reacting to it. They won't let me just stand in her ass.
Yeah, she also kisses one of these construction people like right afterwards, and then like her and Walter go into like Walter's old like family house that has been in his family for like centuries or whatever the fuck. And Walter gets turned into a gold statue. It's kind of honestly, I wish he would have stayed a golden statue actually, because I hate him.
Can you send me a picture of his woman form?
Absolutely not.
Of Wanda Lankowski?
Yeah.
Okay, I can look it up. I think Walter got better after he lost his original body and became the box robot / Wanda. Because like definitely became less of a shitty person afterwards.
He lost his dick and then became less of a dick.
Yes, exactly. The toxic masculinity left his body.
The story of Rex Explode, if you think about it.
There you go.
That's what's up.
Go into pics.
Well, Jake, it's up to you. Dude. Are you tired? Or
no, I'll just fucking around. I'll just fucking with you.
It's the girl with the white hair and the pink outfit.
Well, audience.
It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
You know what? She slays. Love her.
Just so you know, I have become the J. Jonah Jameson of Reed Richards, and slowly but surely, Wonder Woman, because I advocate for the position that Wonder Woman does not need to be on the big three. I think we should open up auditions and tryouts for a real big three. Man, woman, I don't care.
What are you talking about?
Because I don't think anybody knows anything about this. It's been like how long?
Yeah, because DC doesn't want to do anything with her. They only want to do shit with Batman.
I don't think they know how to do anything with her. I think if you sat someone down, it was like, okay, for your project you have to choose, make me a Superman show or make me a Wonder Woman show. I think the person would be like, I'll do Superman, not because there's anything wrong with Wonder Woman, just because it's just easier.
Anyways, I sent you a better picture. I sent you a better picture of Wanda.
I like how sexually this X-Man is
Also, I like how we just started talking about Alpha Flight,
Because
way
that's how
longer
little
than
we care
needed
about
to.
Wonder Woman. You're proving my agenda.
Because I
Anyway.
don't read DC. I don't read a lot of
That's what
DC.
I'm
I
saying.
read more
That's what I'm saying.
Marvel.
But listen.
That's why we're changing it today. We're making a statement. We're making a change. Go to the next photo.
Just go on to the next topic while I post this real quick.
Austin's taking an absolute stand in absolute Wonder Woman.
I almost died to talk about this book.
Talk your shit,
That's not a joke. I was on my way home, so I was mainly wanting to talk about this. I was on my way home and almost died.
That's true.
For this issue.
For Wonder Woman to be here today.
Yes. Austin almost became Doctor Strange. He had to go to the Himalayas, rebuild himself, come back. He was ready for Wonder Woman.
We're doing absolute Wonder Woman because there's only 3 issues. I'm only doing 1, and it's easy to jump into at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like back reading. But we start with Jake for some reason. The stupid city is called Gateway City, and I hate it.
Yeah, that's okay.
I hate it. It's a bad name.
Listen,
bad area.
It's a gateway. This is the gateway to get you into Wonder Woman. This is the gateway to get you into Wonder Woman. How about that?
You know how Arkham's Arkham's Gotham was, where it's like connected to the mainland by bridges? That's what this is.
Okay.
But we get a news crew trying to record something. For some reason, Jake, there's an upside triangle in the sky, and then they start releasing demons. It like a wasp's house. Net. A little red dinosaur demon. You go to the next picture. I think this is the next picture I had. I had some picture of Wonder Woman. It was so hard to choose between 3. Okay, that isn't the picture I thought it was, but you can leave it up. So Wonder Woman comes down on a skeletal horse, Jake, and starts whipping her giant buster blade through these demons with ease. And you see her jump off the horse in this picture, this full reveal of her outfit, which is genuinely amazing. This is Wonder Woman if she was Jake, that's what they should do. We need Wonder Woman in a Dark Souls game.
You think Wonder Woman's gonna get a game produced, fully out, developed? All right.
Jake, her Pantheon is the perfect one for Dark Souls. So literally the concept of it. Either do that or man up and make her a version of God of War.
Or make something, bro. Like just something. But we digress.
But I clicked the wrong phone trying to change the picture.
Well, wait, hold on. I want to say this panel's kind of cool. I like how it looks like she's looking down at a portal, but like it's like, yeah, I like that.
A lot of artwork is like that. Like it's a lot of little circles or bubbles and stuff. She says something in some language I don't understand in the next panel. I didn't want to be racist, try to say it out loud. It might be fake. I don't know. Not this one.
Okay.
I ain't mean for you to go forward, but it's fine. Just keep it up.
Oh, they said next
she's
panel.
talking about the ability to outrun Hellhound and conquer the darkest of magics. Things every princess needs when she was raised in hell. Absolute Wonder Woman, that last Amazon.
Finally, she's something to relate to Superman about.
Jake, once she ruled a home called this is Cersei. So the villain that got low dipped by a weasel of all people. Mm-hmm. She has her own island that she calls some shit I can't pronounce. A-E-A-E-A. I ain't want to say that shit. But she's like, I'm a prisoner of this land, this island. It's just me, myself, and I. So I went out my way to make a baby out of clay, and then then Apollo came down. He said, "Hey yo, take this dumb baby."
No, I like you remember the scene
the baby was not made out of clay, everyone. Cersei is making a baby out of clay, and then Apollo just comes down with a baby in hand. Like, here you go, take this shit.
You remember the scene of Dragon Ball Z Abridged when King Vegeta just throws Bardock in the fucking trash? Like, here, take this shit.
That's kind of how I feel. She's literally carving like a fake child out of clay, and he just showed up behind her. Apollo, you may kneel. Here you go. Goodbye. And then we get some it's a lot of cool paneling. I wish I could have shown more art, but I knew it was gonna be late by the time we got this, so I didn't want to do anything. But he's basically like, this baby is Diana, princess of her home I can't pronounce. She's the last of the Amazons, and she has been taken away from my father, Zeus, for punishment for their crimes against the gods. So either Zeus killed all the Amazons and spared Diana and gave her to Cersei, their greatest enemy, who's not their enemy yet, or the Amazons sealed away on like some Marvel stuff. Let's see. So basically, we got the Cersei trying to raise this baby and she's ass. There's no womanly features in this woman at all. Jake. She let a snake go up to try to eat this baby, and Diana grabs the snake by the mouth and yeets it at baby Jake. As a baby, she does that. She yeets the snake. We cut to her playing with animals, eating animals, and then like training them with love and care and all that stuff. But over the years, Cersei just trying her best to raise this little girl. There's a lot of cool panels. You see her teaching her, raising her, hyping her up and stuff. And then we cut to Gateway City now. Where Wonder Woman is with her skeleton horse that she calls Pegasus. She finds the first soldier she can find, who isn't Steve Trevor. And Jake, now when you get this panel, where wherever the fuck this guy shows up.
Okay.
I want you to know, Jake, she looks on Dead Eye and say, "You are not welcome here. Harbinger Prime. This world will defend itself. I stand before you with the mystical Athena blade, forged by that god who I can't pronounce himself, and it's more than capable of sending you to your maker. Go back to wherever you came from and tell whoever your hell is that you were mistaken. This world is protected." So, Jake, this is the Silver Surfer of a new age. You hear me?
Yes. But what will we do about it?
And I want you to know the next time the guy opens his mouth, and he opens it from exactly where you see that line at. So it's so fucking funny looking. He opens it in 3 ways, like the Godzilla, Shin Godzilla. And he said, she said, "This world protected." He said, "But it's not though." And he tried to eat her. The Pegasus, he lived in, but it's not though. It's kind of funny. I wish I had that panel. But she jumps into the guy. She said some magic spell. You can't tell what she did. The guy starts shooting a laser hell demon spirit. He said, "Harbingers, rise. Where are my niggas at? Attack!" That's not a joke. He
says the N word and everything.
All the demons she killed get back up, Jake, and start swarming her. You see her doing some crazy dodges. The artist for this book is great at paneling. This is some shit DBZ needed.
Yes.
Like, this is kind of insane. She does the thing where she reflects. Go ahead. Go say what you're saying.
I said Toro, take notes.
She does the thing where she makes the ex Wakanda Forever, Prime supporter. And she knocks the lightning, she locks the heat vision back at the demon. So he says, "You know what, fuck you," and goes full power eye beams. Because they're flying through the building. And she cuts back to Cersei raising her. And she's like, "Diana, say this. I need you to know what you are." He's like, "I'm an Amazon, mommy." And she says, "What does that mean, mother?" It's simple. It's what you are. You are an. She says, "You are an." And then Jake, the next word is scratched out. So I don't know if it still says Amazon. But when Cersei tries to say it, she says, "What was that?" When Apollo first brought you here, he banned me for ever saying those words. And I think it's a demigod.
Oh. I like the thing that she gets like an actual real life censor, like from the old comedy shows when they censored out curse words.
That's basically what it looked like. They wrote the word and then scratched it out. But she's basically making her repeat and understand that she is the Amazon and she must fight. And the demon's like, "Away, warrior, you're beaten. I beat you. Leave. I won. It's over. Go home." And she's like, "No, fuck you.
Thing.
Let me show you my rope." But it's all red. What is it?
The lasso.
It doesn't tell me what the power of this rope is. It's her lasso, but it don't tell me what kind it is. It's not the lasso of truth.
No, I know. It's the lasso of, I used to know this. The lasso of I forgot. I think it's supposed to.
We'll find out in another issue when I ever get to it. But her final words are, "For I and Diana, a place I'm not ever going to pronounce. Last of the Amazon, daughter of Cersei, princess of hell. I'm not doing it. I refuse. Princess of hell.
Wonder Woman can get a movie.
Isle. You will not have this world while I still draw breath. And that's the end of this book. It's a good little fight. They set up enough stuff to keep her interested in what's going on. I really think scratching out. I forgot I had that picture. And I think scratching out the whatever the word is or what she is, that's banned. It was really good idea for them. It keeps you really intrigued in where it's going to go. And I kind of already know where it's going to go. I already seen some some stuff about it, but I guess you all will see that next week. But this is easily the Wonder Woman's best design. I don't care what anyone says.
It is.
This is her best sword. I don't care what anyone says.
Might be her best story? Question mark.
I'll agree with that. Okay. And you have to beat Wonder Woman Dead Earth, and that's a really high bar. Wonder Woman Dead Earth is probably my top 10 comic books ever.
I mean more like a universe that we can live in long term. I'm talking about the one-offs. You know what I mean?
I don't want to live in the universe though. They're all terrible.
Nah, bro. I was saying if we made a Wonder Woman movie and it was this, people be like, "Ooh, that's a wonder." She will get us out from under. Wonder Woman.
Nah, I'm like, okay. I am wondering why didn't I watch this movie, and then I go. But that's it. That's the end of absolute Wonder Woman #1. Join us, I guess, next week on Tuesday, hopefully, and we'll do the rest.
Yeah. Austin, if you have any more Alpha Flight questions, just DM them to me.
I think every Tuesday something happens. Every Tuesday you try to review this book, something happens. And not just you. I mean, anything that was
at that point, we'll just have to stop covering the book. Clearly, God didn't want to talk about it, bro. I got hit by a car to not talk about this book on Tuesday.
But yeah, guys, thank you for stopping by. We won't be seeing you on Sunday, but we'll see you on Monday. And Krypton will also still not be here.
New art. Trust me, there's going to be new art featuring ya boy.
Yes, and a brand new game.
We have a lot of news actually too.
We'll be in a brand new game, in a brand new world, new rivals, and a fight for survival. Oh, I wanted to make this announcement, guys, while we're here. It's bonus topic because we have the time. For the first time in Pokemon history, we're doing a time skip in the anime.
Woo! I thought we already did that.
No. I mean,
do time skip. It's small.
Right, but they're come on. I mean, the characters are gonna actually physically age up from where they started. You're gonna.
You don't have to lie to us, okay? How about you show proof on Monday? You don't need to lie to us, okay?
You know, yeah, that's a Monday topic. Stay tuned. Liko, my girl, Roy, and Dot, my girl,
my girl, and that guy that conveniently follows her around.
Right, we'll be seeing their redesigns on Monday. So